Welcome back, our dear viewer. The National Alliance for Civil Development Action is an important pillar in the development process in the country and supports the system of the social protection networks by integrating its network within the efforts of the government and the private sector. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by Dr. Maha Mahgoub, our human development expert. Good morning, Dr. Mahgoub.
Good morning.
Doctor, at the beginning, we want to learn more about the role of the civil society organization as a main actor in the development process that the country is witnessing.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
The Civil Society Association is one of the main pillars of development in Egypt, and they are cooperating with other two pillars, which are the government and private sector.
Yeah.
So the three pillars are very important for developing the society in Egypt. And it's worth to mention in 2022, President Sisi launched the Civil Society Year, and since that year, they have announced about the National Alliance of Civil Societies and NGOs in Egypt. About 24 NGOs aligned together in 2020. Now they are 37 big and huge NGOs associations are aligned together for giving support to their society. Actually, we faced a huge problem before this alliance because we did not have a database for people, for beneficiaries, for demographic areas, for the most needed people. So the main purpose of this alliance is just to create a new database, and now they created about database for 37 million people who deserve assistance from civil society.
Doctor, what are actually the objective of the National Alliance for Civil Development Action?
They have certain objectives just to cooperate together and to align their objectives together. Before this alliance, most of NGOs, they were providing services to maybe for repetitive target group. They don't target their service to the most needed people. So they have a huge map now after this alliance. They have a good map for about the demography, geographical areas, the needs of the society, how to develop the civil society. Accordingly, they have developed a database for the most needed people. They distribute their efforts according to the needs, and of course through many initiatives in many aspects, in economic, social, health, education, in many aspects they are providing assistance to the most needed people.
Indeed. What are the most important initiatives actually, Doctor, established by the National Alliance for Civil Development Action during the past year?
Yes, let's agree that the main purpose of this alliance and the NGOs services that provided assistance to people. For example, they had many initiatives. They have Haya Karima initiatives, which is launched in 2018, 2019. Yeah. And of course, all of these initiatives are protecting human rights, which is one main pillar of Sustainable Development Goals and Egypt Vision 2030. So Haya Karima, one of the initiatives, Takafulu Karama, Ezra initiative, shoulder and shoulder, they provided 4.5 million food cartons for the most needed people. Some medical campaigns, food campaigns, providing assistance to many people. It's worth to mention that about 12 billion Egyptian pound have been expended during the last 2 months. 10 months for providing assistance to 30 million people all over Egypt.
Yes. What did the National Alliance provide for the youth projects, Dr. Mahgoub?
They have youth empowerment, but the most important, what have arisen from these alliance, just encouraging the volunteer work.
Yeah.
About 250 youth participated in volunteer work, and this is a good opportunity for them just to practice how to help the societies, and they are dedicating maybe 3 hours per week for developing and helping their societies. Around 39,500 job opportunities have been created. Economic empowerment in agriculture. They have initiatives called ISRA for agriculture empowerment, how to improve and encourage youth to have agriculture lands and how to be productive. Training awareness sessions and how to develop their skills and knowledge. Small and medium-sized projects, how to encourage youth to have their projects by facilitating access to finance, knowledge, how project management. Many great supports are provided to youth.
Yes, indeed. Doctor, also, how do you evaluate here the state efforts to support the youth through the National Alliance to achieve its goals?
The youth here in Egypt presents maybe more than 60% of population, so they are the majority of Egyptian populations. So they are providing a huge support, and the National Alliance just put one of their objectives, youth and women empowerment. And of course, they have empowered, or maybe they have empowered economically or politically, and participated in many developmental goals areas by developing other people, by selecting maybe for example the leadership program for youth. And nowadays they are holding political seats, economic, and they maybe in the future they will be responsible for a good position.
Indeed. Doctor, also, what did the National Alliance for Civil Action offer for working women?
Yes, women empowerment is very important, and just to have encouraged women for getting a good job opportunities, especially here in Egypt. Maybe around 27% here in Egypt, women are occupying jobs here in Egypt. So the state efforts in increasing the seats of working women, especially maybe for top and executive roles, and they set just some rules for occupying at least in the board seats, so at least one woman should be occupied in the board seats. Women empowerment in economically in small and medium sizes enterprise by creating their own projects. If they don't find a good job opportunity in formal or private sector, so they can develop or create their own project, and they set how to facilitate the opportunities for women, how to get access to finance, and in the small and medium size center, the most of people who get grants, women, they are women.
Yes. Dr. Mahgoub, as you have kindly mentioned that one or few of the most important initiatives were تكافل وكرامة and حياة كريمة. To what extent these initiatives are covering all the governorates and the governorates of Upper Egypt and the most away governorates, or it's covering the whole sectors of the society as well as the different governorates in the Egyptian state?
These two initiatives are covering 27 governorates all over Egypt, and Haya Karima it's involved in establishing the infrastructure of villages, from streets, schools, hospitals, how to have a decent life. But Takaful wa Karama, they are providing monetary assistance to most needed people, and as well it's covering most of Egyptian governorates, and a lot of people who lives in villages, they felt the impact of these initiatives in their lives, and now they are living a decent life.
Yes. To what extent here, Dr. Mahgoub, the NGOs should be working in parallel with the government and the Ministry of Social Solidarity.
Yes. Let's agree that they have to have main objective altogether.
Yes.
The government, the private sector, the NGOs, all of them are working together in order to achieve the goals of the state. So the main objective or strategic objective now is Egypt Vision 2030,
Yeah.
and all of them agree that how to achieve the goals, and it's not just just a goals or picture what would you like to be in 2030, but they have actually an action plan and monitoring and evaluation, key performance indicators, what did they achieve and what they are going to do in the forthcoming years. So in 2016, they just agreed about the decent life, the human rights, how to have a good decent life for people, and economic empowerment. Maybe, for example, SDGs number 8 is economic empowerment, and this goal is relevant to the NGOs, how to empower youth, women, families, how to create job opportunities, how to provide a decent life for most of Egyptian people,
Yes.
most needy people, and all over Egypt.
Indeed. Finally, Dr. Mahgoub, as an expert here, what are your tips here for the NGOs and for the people who are working in the social work in order to be capable to cover all the brackets of the society and all, if I might say, the different sectors in the Egyptian society as well?
Yes, my tip to the NGOs is just to direct their efforts and assistance to the most needed areas and people.
Yes.
Because the main purpose of the alliance which created that, they found that most of NGOs, they are providing several assistance to certain people. Other areas, other people, they don't get any benefits from these NGOs. So the NGOs should understand the needs of the real needs of their society, just to provide new assistance to new society, to new people who needs their efforts and assistance.
Indeed, Dr. Maha Mahgoub, our human development expert, thank you so much for being with us, and best of luck in your work in the civil society. And our dear viewers, with that, we come to the end of this edition of our program, The Breakfast Show, and I would like to wish all our dear viewers a happy New Year. Many thanks for watching. Till tomorrow with another quote. Goodbye.